Tomorrow, I have a shoot that I've done a dozen times. The schedule and deliverables are almost always the same, just different people in different locations. If you're a follower of the channel, you have likely seen my BTS vlogs of these types of shoots. There's often discussion in the comment section on how to improve the lighting, the framing, and many other aspects of these shoots. But after reading these comments, I keep hearing this voice in my head saying, stop being too creative. All right, hear me out. When I was first hired on to do this type of shoot for an agency, I was pretty much stripped of the ability to have creative framing, lighting, and even camera movement. And the more agencies I worked with, the more it became clear that this was not a one-off request. So I've adapted my kit to fit within those parameters. It's almost like I'm going back to when I first started shooting corporate work. I'd bring a couple of hybrid bodies because I have to shoot photo and video. A couple of zoom lenses for B-roll and photos. I like to keep a good mix of prime lenses for interviews because I don't know how big or small the interview space will be. I also like to bring a shotgun mic because it's a lot easier to set up than using lavs. So what is the reasoning behind the client saying, stop being too creative? I mean, we are creatives at heart and we are driven to express ourselves in this medium we call video. So this is something that's important that I like to use. Now I'm a gaffer, so it's just fancier, but it's a color meter. It's going to tell me the temperature of the light and everything. So I want to match what's captured in here naturally and make my light match that. So 74.7 green, and then here we're getting 75.7 green. That's close enough for me. So we've matched the light. Why would anybody want their content to be less creative? Here's a great analogy. When you go to a restaurant and order the same meal as you did dozens of times before, there is a certain expectation that it will be the same as all the other times you ordered it. This often applies to video services when dealing with a repeat client. Oftentimes, those expectations and standards are set long before you were ever involved. So if I were to start shooting everything wide open at f1.2 and start dragging my shutter, making all kinds of crazy moves, the agency might push back and say, stop being too creative. Have you ever had a client ask you to do less? I'd love to hear about your experience down in the comments below. All right, let me explain what I have going on. I have the XLR cable coming from the boom. It's coming down, and then it's connected to a Zoom F3, which is on a little quick release clamp, and it just slides in, clicks in. So then it's right there and it's visible to me. And if I'm sitting here, I can actually turn it to the side and view our levels. And then I have an auxiliary cable coming down, plugged into the camera. And then I have my headphones here. I do show that I do have photos that I've already taken with this camera here. So I'm going to take them out, the cards, and then I'm putting in fresh ones into all the cameras. Great. Fresh ones into all the cameras. Oh, see, I almost did those. Oopsie. So one thing that I like to do is even after I pop them in, I always hit play to check what's on them. Usually they're cleared out ahead of time, so I don't have to sit there and format because every second counts. So I'll hit play. They're clear. Hit play. They're clear. That's a good habit. Now the ones that I've already shot on, I put into this little container here like this. And we're right at 30 minutes. We're ready to shoot. I just need to pop someone in and do the final adjustments. So I did everything 32 minutes, 49 seconds. Got everything set up the way I wanted it, framed up and looking good. So we'll see how it turns out. If you haven't noticed already, this is a very small location for these interviews. Now with these agency type shoots, I never know if the location is going to be small or if it's going to be big. So I keep everything to a small footprint and compact to make it the most versatile possible on all my shoot locations. Now you may notice something really different about this framing, and that's you usually put your key light on the side of your big windows in a space where it's naturally lit. But if you notice the top left hand side here, I wanted to showcase the dental practice name and not have it be right under the subject's head if they were facing to the right hand side of frame. What this all boils down to is meeting your client's expectations and fulfilling their needs. Less is more. Sometimes that means being less creative and more of a team player. In the end, this will get you called back out for more agency work like this, helping you earn enough to fund your future creative projects on your terms. Stop, 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 stop.